Hello, Sagittarius. It's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here with your October 2025 mid-month general reading. So we're looking at the second half of October for you. As always, thanks for being here. Please do subscribe and like. It's helpful for additional insight if you know your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs to watch those videos as well. If something hits home and resonates with you and you'd like to perhaps take a deeper look at something in your own life, or you like the reading style, for those of you who are interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or perhaps as a gift for someone else, we are approaching the holiday season and they make easy and lovely gifts to give. But if you're interested, please email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below, the link below, to see those contact details as well. I can usually get back to you quickly, same day. I cover all areas of life, love and romance, relationship and partnership compatibility, career, work, money. I do 6 and 12-month overviews, and I'm pretty diligent about timely scheduling of personal readings because I do this full time. So email me if you're interested. Okay, Sagittarius, what's going on for you? Second half of October 2025. We begin with the Lovers. Decisions about relationships and partnerships, or decisions which affect our relationships with other people, be they romantic, platonic, business. It's about making decisions that follow our values and morals and ethics, and in making choices with other people. It's about whether or not we're in alignment with ourselves and with other people, because this is about choices that affect the relationships in our lives as well. Many of you are standing at a crossroads needing to make a decision, and it might be about a particular relationship. Romantically, it would be a quite a connected one. Or it might be in another area of life, but one which impacts a primary relationship. We have the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and orchestration. Usually represents that God, spirit, angels, and guides are either orchestrating or allowing this, whatever is going on, to happen to try to get you, align you, or realign you on a better path. We have the Five of Cups. There's some loss here, some grief, some disappointment, perhaps some regret. Not all is lost, though. There's still 2 cups upright and full. And be careful that you don't over-focus on the negative or what hasn't worked out or what happened. We want to honor the emotions we have without allowing them to chain us in one spot and get stuck. We want to focus on it long enough to understand, perhaps to take the value of what lessons we can before we move on, because the 2 cups behind this person can represent not only what there might be there to salvage, things to still be grateful for, but it can also represent opportunity which might be missed because you're only focusing on what was, or a challenging thing that happened. Now your crowning energy is the Six of Swords. So healing is kind of the primary focus here. There may be some loss associated with it, especially with that Five of Cups. Whatever it was that's been difficult or challenging, in the Six of Swords, it's behind you now. You're moving into peaceful, more calm and placid waters. It's a process. You're not quite there. You're not quite to the other shore and on solid ground, but it's about being headed in the right direction. There may be still some up and down times with the Six of Swords, because the healing process is like that, particularly in the beginning stages. That's the focus. It may be that in romantic relationships, it may be that something has happened. Maybe somebody made a mistake or did something to hurt the other person, regardless of what it is, because this is a general reading. There's an opportunity for healing. Now that healing might be making the decision to split up, or it might be, and this is what I feel from more of you is, okay, there's still emotions there. There's still that connection there. Is it enough? It's perhaps about making the choice whether to move forward and do what would be required on a healing path together, or make the decision to move in different ways. In other areas of life, it might be decisions between relationship, home, work, family life, and, that balance between the energy we put in outside of our personal life and our personal life, and how, the schedules that we adhere to affect our personal relationships as well, perhaps making decisions to try and find a better or healthier balance between the efforts we put into work or the things outside of our personal life, and how much, attention and effort we're putting into our relationships as well. So let's take a look at that Six of Swords. Page of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Yes, this is talking it out, working it out, trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. The key here in the Three of Pentacles is being flexible, because this is a card about kind of hashing it out. It's a card of compromise and negotiation. It's a collaborative effort. It's about everybody kind of coming to the table and going, okay, what's our primary goal here? What's our primary objective? And you may have a lot of things that you would like, but the compromise negotiation process is just that. You decide what is most important, what you're not going to compromise on. And then you look at everything else, and it's about being adaptable and flexible to a certain point. And that's what successful kind of working together is. It's about coming together because we want to accomplish something. We want to build something, or we want to accomplish something. And this can be in legal mediation where you don't even like the other people, or it can be, in relationships or even in work where you both or you all agree on the primary goal, and then everybody has their own, things that they can contribute to making that happen. So it's about kind of hashing it out and trying to find common ground and build a bridge that's healing. Let's take a look at this Lovers. Knight of Swords and Nine of Wands. There's a decision to be made here, and it may be a decision that you have to make fairly quickly. It may be that some of you are feeling discouraged or tired or worn out, but you're very close to kind of completing a cycle so that you can move forward on a new path or a better path. And it's also a sign that even though you've been through quite a bit and you're kind of like, oh, I really didn't want to deal with this. Again, this is about perhaps being at a point where you need to make a decision, and maybe you don't want to make a decision yet, or, you're being kind of pressed to make a decision quickly. And the other thing I'm picking up in this for some of you is be careful. Again, because this is clarifying the Lovers, this is about the decisions and the choices we make that affect relationships in our life. Not just us, ourselves, but our partner, if we have a partner, or other people as well. And one of the cautionary things I'm picking up about this is be careful about being too aggressive or too controlling or assertive in how you deal with this, or perhaps how the other person is, because this combination of cards can also represent somebody who just wants to kind of take control over making the decisions. And because it's clarifying the Lovers, we have to remember that, our choices and actions and decisions affect more than just us. They affect the people that we're connected to as well. So again, it feels like this reading, Sagittarius, is kind of leaning towards, yes, we all have our red lines, our non-negotiables, but outside of that, we need to be to be able to be flexible and adapt and adjust. Let's take a look at this Wheel of Fortune. the Lovers again, and the Knight of Pentacles. It's another kind of clue for advice here. And I think that Spirit is allowing this to happen for the purposes of getting you to perhaps slow down and focus on something that probably needed to be focused on before, either about the relationship or something that was affecting your primary relationship or relationships, to get you to slow down and focus on, again, that our actions and choices and decisions are affecting the people around us, or, that our partner might be, again, for some of you, this might not have to do with, the relationship in terms of third-party situations or something like that. But it could be, for some of you, it's about, perhaps you're spending too much time. There's so much time being spent, in your life outside of the relationship, or your life outside of, your personal life, work, commuting perhaps, or it could be the other person, the partner as well. And again, whatever it is that's caused the difficulty or the challenge or this painful situation for some of you, it really feels like Spirit is allowing that to happen so that it can be brought to our attention, so that we can deal with it, because it feels like something that has needed to be dealt with before but hasn't. And so it's kind of come to a head, and now some decisions and choices need to be made. And it's about kind of finding a healthy balance within the relationship, a healthy balance between the relationship and the rest of life as well. Let's take a look at the Five of Cups. With the Six of Swords, with healing as your crowning energy, Sagittarius, and the Five of Cups, I think for a lot of you, it's about asking yourselves, yes, there are still positive aspects in this situation or in this relationship and partnership. Is it enough? Is it enough to, are we in alignment enough? Is it worth putting the effort into this healing process together? The work that's required to find a balance. Because again, the challenge here is that you'll get stuck in focusing only on whatever bad or negative stuff has happened, only on what you feel you've lost. And while again, that's important and valid and relative, because it's kind of caused or driven this situation to come up, it's driven it to the surface. It's like a problem that was underneath, and it's been driven to the surface through painful means, but it's there now, and it's there to be dealt with. So it's about asking yourself, is there enough still there? Are we in alignment? Are we in alignment with each other in the most important things? And, learning how to be perhaps more flexible and adaptable, particularly if in a partnership, romantic or otherwise, there's one person who tends to just kind of run over the other person, how they deal with things, or they're too quick, too assertive, too aggressive about it, without taking into consideration how it's affecting the other person, whether it's you doing this or whether it's the other person. Two of Pentacles and the Hanging Man. This is about being flexible and adaptable. It may be that, there are some sacrifices that need to be made here as well. This is about allowing what has happened, as difficult or challenging or painful as it might be. It's kind of allowed the two of you in this partnership to kind of get a different perspective. Maybe each of you didn't know how much what you were doing was affecting the other person, or why the other person was doing something, because the Hanging Man is also about, maybe from an uncomfortable place, you're actually seeing something you didn't see before. It's a new perspective here. And while there may be some sacrifices that need to be made and some loss that's attached to it, again, it's for a reason. It feels like no matter what it is that's happened, it's happened to bring something to the surface, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to deal with it or not, and how you're going to deal with that. So let's end with some advice and guidance from Spirit. The Six of Swords is the first card out. So we have the Six of Swords twice here, and it's definitely time to actively invest yourself in the healing process. What needs to happen? How can we compromise and negotiate based on perhaps some new perspectives on how each other are feeling, what has driven each other to do the things that we do or have done, and kind of getting, it's an opportunity to, and again, it feels like something that was underneath the surface that needed to be dealt with but wasn't, has come to the surface in some painful way. But again, rather than focusing just on the negative aspects of it, there's also, the seed of opportunity for healing and moving together in a way that's actually even stronger and more united, because each of you has a better understanding now of where the other person is coming from. Two of Swords, the Hermit, and Temperance. Some difficult decisions or perhaps some tough decisions need to be made. And while there may be sometimes a reluctance or resistance to making them, the key here is to take a step back, look at the facts, the practicality, the logic of it, what you know, what your experience and knowledge is telling you, and learning how to adapt and adjust and be flexible while keeping your feet kind of planted in the center. But again, it's, relationships are living things, just like a plant, right? And we have to adapt and adjust according to, what's going on in the life of that relationship. It may be that some of you have maybe you fell into a bit of a rut or complacency and some things happened. But again, this is an opportunity for each of you, regardless of the nature of this partnership, it's an opportunity for each of you to gain a different and better understanding of each other and come up with some different ways of working on whatever the underlying issue is moving forward. There's a lot of opportunity for healing and moving forward actually in a stronger way. So I'm going to leave it there. Sagittarius, those are your messages for the second half of October 2025. I hope it was helpful for those of you for whom it resonated. Again, if you want to take a deep dive into something in your life, you like the reading style, if you are interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or perhaps as a lovely gift for someone else, you can email me for more information, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description below for that as well. I would love to hear from you. I will see you all again shortly. Be safe, be well. Many blessings to you, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.